You're watching the TechBurgh podcast coming to you from the Creative Treehouse. This is episode 1, our very first podcast. I'm Kaylin.
And I'm Andy. This week's episode is brought to you by Cornerstone Ink. Call this number and get 10% off your printer, copier, and fax, toner, and ink. And you get 10% off Cornerstone's already great prices.
And if you spend $100 or more, then you even get free shipping too.
Right. I have to say that I used Cornerstone ink before for my little Lexmark printer at home. It's great, fully warranted ink. I've had no problems. If you've got any problems with it, you just send it back and they'll send you a new one.
Cool.
So, this week on TechBurgh, we have a 6-foot Apple.
Google goes high def.
6 ways to extend Firefox.
We'll explain RSS.
We'll give you our website of the week.
But first, a little introduction about the show. This is the companion podcast for the TechBurgh.com blog. If you've seen the blog, you'll know that we're all about giving you the latest, greatest tech and gadget news, tips, tricks, reviews, and how-tos.
And if you haven't seen the blog, make sure you check it out at TechBurgh.com. Not only is it updated practically daily, but we have show notes from every podcast there too. So any details we mention, you'll find there.
Okay, first up today we have Google's acquisition of the week. It seems they're buying a new company every week, and the one this week is Image America. Image America is a high-resolution aerial imagery company, and they've used them for their aerial imagery before and evidently liked them enough that they decided they just had to buy them.
Right. Image America makes high-resolution cameras that any company can use to take aerial photographs. They give details up to about 6 to 12 inches, so if they're flying above you and they can pretty much take a clear picture of your face if you're looking straight up. That's how detailed these things get. The price of the acquisition was not disclosed, but it's interesting to see how Google is taking it up a notch compared to other Microsoft and other image mapping companies.
Definitely. And 6 Mozilla Firefox extensions that are really useful to those web workers out there.
Okay, Mozilla Mozilla is an open source company that makes a bunch of different stuff, but their main thing is the Firefox browser. Firefox is an open source browser, meaning that people can just look at the coding and take it apart and program their own stuff for it. The browser is Microsoft Internet Explorer's main competition. It can run on Apple or PC, and extensions are things that people program to let the browser do other things. So you can have it do stuff on its own, or you can have it render things on its own, change the toolbars and things like that. Any downloads to the extensions mentioned here, or the Mozilla browser itself, can be found on our show notes.
Number 1, faviconize.
Okay, a favicon, F-A-V-I-C-O-N, is the little image that appears next to the address in your address bar. Companies set this up themselves. A lot of them are doing custom ones now, and the icon often has something to do with the website. It can be a logo or something like that. Mozilla can tab browse, meaning you can have multiple windows open in one window, and the favicon appears on a tab too. If you have a bunch of different tabs open, like I often do, I've got email, web browsing, Google, like my blog and the TechBurgh blog, things like that, it'll take the title out of the tab and just narrow it down to the favorite icon, so that you can quickly browse between the two and just not have to worry about clicking between tabs.
Number 2, Firebug.
Firebug is a little extension that's helpful for the web developers out there. It lets you debug and just pick apart your JavaScript and CSS code so you can see what's wrong with it and see what's going on with it all the time.
And number 3, Fox Clocks.
Fox Clocks is a handy little extension if you work with different people around the world. Working on the internet, we do. So Fox Clocks will put different clocks down in your toolbar so that you can see what time it is in different time zones. It's helpful if you're working with people on different sides of the country, or dealing with people in different sides of the different parts of the world, so you can see when they're likely to get online, when they get up, when they're not going to be in the office, and things like that.
Number 4, Menu X.
Menu X is handy if you're used to working full screen in Firefox and you want to maximize your web space real estate. Menu X just brings up a custom toolbar so that you can just do with one click what you'd normally have to do by clicking through different menus.
And number 5, Nightly Tester Tools.
Nightly Tester Tool does pretty much just what it says. Every night, well, you've got this running and your computer's on, of course. The Nightly Tester Tools will run through and check for any Mozilla updates. It will check for the little extension updates and take care of everything for you like that.
Number 6, View Source Chart.
The View Source Chart on websites, if you want to look at how the website is built or coded, you can right-click on the web page, click on View Source, and you can see all the code behind the page, which is a very basic way of looking at stuff. The View Source Chart, it gives you a much more in-depth view of the code. It tells you about nested tables and all the coding behind all that stuff. So it's a view source, but really on steroids.
Our viewer question this week is from Beth in Pennsylvania. She asks, what exactly is RSS?
RSS stands for Real Simple Syndication. Lots of websites now using this. A lot of people, if they subscribe to this blog or the podcast, they'll be using RSS to get the updates. What RSS does is gives you an address to paste into a reader being an online application or something you run on your desktop that takes RSS feeds and just shows them to them whenever you update. The RSS feed is basically what the website has updated since you last looked at it. So if you're looking at a blog, for example, every day it'll give you an RSS of the posted articles on the blog. It's just basically feeding you information from a website. It's real simple syndication.
And lastly, our website of the week.
Our website of the week this week is a site called Meebo, meebo.com. I actually have an interview with Meebo on Friday, so check out the blog. Yeah, the boss of Meebo. They're a small company. They've recently hired a few people. They're getting bigger. It's an online instant messaging service, which if you run Yahoo, AOL Instant Messenger, Google Talk, or what's the other one? ICQ, you can just log into the website and access your messaging from anywhere in the world. It's totally free. All you got to do is log on to the website, sign in how you would normally sign into your messengers, click on login, and up comes your messenger list. They're getting bigger and bigger and better all the time. They just released another update to their site. They have Meebo Rooms as well, which is if you want to set up a custom chat room, embed it into a website, things like that, you can do that too. The cool thing is if you have multiple messengers like I do, you can set up an account for free on Meebo, and you can then just log in with one login and have all your messengers all in one window. So you just double click on the one pane and you got all your messenger buddies there.
That's convenient.
Yep, so that's really handy. Toner and copier. Ink, copier, toner. Good Lord.
TechBurgh pod.